Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. Today we have 100 questions on general knowledge. So let's begin with question number one. Which author wrote the 1911 novel The Secret Garden? Louisa May Alcott, Frances Hodgson Burnett, or Kate Elizabeth Russell? Frances Hodgson Burnett. What ingredient distinguishes a dirty martini from a standard? Olive brine, pickle juice, or grenadine? Olive brine. Which of the following countries is not a member of the G7? Japan, Italy, or China? China. Question 4. Which of the following plays debuted on Broadway in 1986 and featured the song One Night in Bangkok? Mamma Mia, Chess, or The King and I? Chess. Who is the most decorated Olympic track runner of all time? Allyson Felix, Carl Lewis, or Jackie Joyner Kersee? Allyson Felix. What word often refers to the type of lens designed specifically for extreme close-ups in photography? Fisheye, telescopic, or macro? Macro. What three-word tagline was trademarked by Johnson & Johnson after the 1953 release of Johnson's Baby Shampoo? Do not cry, skin so soft, or no more tears? No more tears. What is the English translation of the Greek prefix plati? Flat, narrow, or black? Flat. Who is memorialized in Barbara Hepworth's sculpture Single Form, which is on public display in the United Nations Plaza in New York? Dag Hammarskjöld, Desmond Tutu, or Winston Churchill? Dag Hammarskjöld. Which artist of the Northern Renaissance painted the Garden of Earthly Delights? Jan van Eyck, Hieronymus Bosch, or Albrecht Dürer? Hieronymus Bosch. Which American ethnic group is featured in Dozaki Shangi's 1982 novel Sassafras, Cypress, and Indigo? Gula, Ojibwe, or Cajun? Gula. Which term refers to a feudal lord like Oda Nobunaga, who held power after the Japanese Civil War? Shogun, Ronin, or daimyo? Di Maio. Which of the following colors is not a shade of red? Vermilion, carmine, or chartreuse? Chartreuse. Which modern language still uses the letter thorn, as you see in parentheses? Russian, Greek, or Icelandic? Icelandic. What perennial plant is a vegetable commonly used as a primary ingredient in sweet dessert pies? Rhubarb, radicchio, or artichoke? Rhubarb. Which British American colony was founded by James Oglethorpe in 1733? Virginia, Massachusetts, or Georgia? Georgia. What is the name of the woman who picks up the rice in the church where a wedding has been in a song by the Beatles? Lucy Diamond, Eleanor Rigby, or Lady Madonna? Eleanor Rigby. What body part does an orthodontist work on? Feet, mouth, or liver? Mouth. Which modern African country was formerly known as Zaire? The Democratic Republic of the Congo, the Republic of the Congo, or Zimbabwe? The Democratic Republic of the Congo. Which American river is featured in Norman Maclean's 1976 novella, A River Runs Through It? The Colorado River, the Big Blackfoot River, or the Yellowstone River? The Big Blackfoot River. Which geometric figure continues infinitely in one direction? Slope, ray, or line? A ray. Who played Mark Zuckerberg in the 2010 film The Social Network? Jesse Plemons, Jesse Williams, or Jesse Eisenberg? Jesse Eisenberg. What is the ideal living conditions for thermophilic organisms? Damp soil, extreme heat, or high salinity? Extreme heat. What is the second largest country in the world? Russia, Canada, or the United States of America? Canada. Which English clergyman famously said, "I am ready to die for my Lord, that in my blood thy church may obtain liberty and peace," before his death in 1170? Thomas Becket, John Newton, or Pope Adrian IV? Thomas Becket. The Fairy Queen. Which character represents Saint George in the epic poem The Fairy Queen? Guyon, Colin Clout, or the Red Cross Knight? The Red Cross Knight. Which 1950 film features the line, "Poor dope, he always wanted a pool," in its opening monologue? Sunset Boulevard, 12 Angry Men, or Rear Window? Sunset Boulevard. According to legend, which European royal murdered Queen Jean of Navarre with a pair of poisoned gloves? Marie Antoinette, Catherine de' Medici, or Queen Elizabeth I? Catherine de' Medici. What is the term for clay effigies endowed with life to serve as protectors of the Jews during times of persecution? Gargoyles, dreidels, or golems? Golems. Which Italian painter is known for his Mannerist works and allegorical painting, Venus, Cupid, Folly, and Time? Alessandro Allori, Giorgio Vasari, or Agnolo Bronzino? Agnolo Bronzino. Which play by Thornton Wilder features Ice Age's food poisoning and a blind beggar named Homer? Our Town, The Matchmaker, or The Skin of Our Teeth? The Skin of Our Teeth. Which South American country declared its independence in 1818, 2 months before the victory at Maipú confirmed it? Chile, Brazil, or Argentina? Chile. Which Nigerian author is best known for his novel Things Fall Apart? Wole Soyinka, Ben Okri, or Chinua Achebe? Chinua Achebe. Which Prime Minister of India authorized the Smiling Buddha nuclear tests and ordered Operation Blue Star? Indira Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, or Marji Desai? Indira Gandhi. Which popular children's author published the poetry collection When We Were Very Young in 1924? Shel Silverstein, A. Milne, or Dr. Seuss? A. Milne. Which Roman military leader used his emergency powers to end the Cimbric Wars after the Battle of Arosio? Sulla, Gaius Marius, or Julius Caesar? Gaius Marius. Which quantity is essential for calculating rotational speed, angular speed, and the surface area of a sphere? Pi, Planck's constant, or the speed of light? Pi. Which term is used to describe the biblical scene where the angel Gabriel tells the Virgin Mary she will have a child? Ascension, annunciation, or actualization? Annunciation. Which British author is known for his travel novels like A Room with a View and A Passage to India? Oscar Wilde, D.H. Lawrence, or E.M. Forster? E.M. Forster. Which city's political machine was satirized by Thomas Nast's cartoons in the late 1800s? Chicago, Detroit, or New York City? New York City. Which sport is celebrated by American enthusiasts on October 4th? Golf, baseball, or volleyball? Golf. Which member of America's Continental Congress designed a famous flag featuring a rattlesnake and the phrase "Don't tread on me" in 1775? Christopher Gadsden, Button Gwinnett, or Samuel Chase? Christopher Gadsden. Which element has the atomic symbol K? Krypton, calcium, or potassium? Potassium. Which verb means to display or radiate? Exalt, exude, or extol? Exude. Which playwright wrote The Jew of Malta and Dr. Faustus? Christopher Marlowe, William Shakespeare, or Thomas Kyd? Christopher Marlowe. Which Greek lawmaker created a harsh legal code that assigned the death penalty for most crimes? Draco, Solon, or Lycurgus? Draco. Which Greek island has the southernmost point of Europe? Crete, Gavdos, or Heraklion? Gavdos. What is the term for the deepest part of the ocean that sunlight can reach? The midnight zone, the twilight zone, or the abyssal zone? The Twilight Zone. Which children's TV character surprised audiences by saying "Goodbye, kids" in their show's 1960 finale? Howdy Doody, Mr. Ed, or Clarabelle the Clown? Clarabelle the Clown. What is the northernmost country in Africa? Algeria, Tunisia, or Morocco? Tunisia. Question 51. Which French painter primarily used ballerinas as his muses and artistic subjects? Edgar Degas, Claude Monet, or Edward Manet? Edgar Degas. Which Stravinsky ballet features a magic feather that saves Prince Ivan's life? The Rite of Spring, The Firebird, or Pulcinella? The Firebird. Which word is derived from the Old French term for a soldier sent ahead to clear the way? Settler, colonizer, or pioneer? Pioneer. Which official document declared Martin Luther a heretic and enemy of the Holy Roman Empire in 1521? The Edict of Restitution, the Edict of Worms, or of Toleration? The Edict of Worms. Who wrote and edited the magazine Conjurer's Monthly from 1906 to 1908? David Copperfield, Merlin Azareth, or Harry Houdini? Harry Houdini. Who became the first living American to name a Navy ship in 1982? Carl Vinson, Jimmy Carter, or Colin Powell? Carl Vinson. Who was the first foreigner named honorary citizen of Nepal in 2003? Robert Peary, Sir Edmund Hillary, or Jim Whittaker? Sir Edmund Hillary. Who was the only man voted both vice president and president of the United States twice? Thomas Jefferson, Richard Nixon, or Dwight D. Eisenhower? Richard Nixon. Which Colorado city is named for its location at confluence of two major rivers? Grand Junction, Colorado Springs, or Steamboat Springs? Grand Junction. Which verb means to consider carefully or weigh in the mind, and comes from the Latin word for wait? Ruminate, ponder, or contemplate? Ponder. Which insect did Thomas Morgan use to help establish the chromosome theory of heredity? The earthworm, fruit fly, or bumblebee? The fruit fly. Which US president's name completes the following infamous headline? Dewey defeats Wilson, Kennedy, or Truman? Dewey defeats Truman. What term for a young hen is derived from the Latin word for chicken? Chook, poulet, or marran? Poulet. What is the most abundant element in the Earth's crust and in the human body? Nitrogen, oxygen, or hydrogen? Oxygen. Which UN agency made Barbie one of its official ambassadors in 1989? The ILO, UNESCO, or UNICEF? UNICEF. Which American railroad magnate was the great-grandfather of CNN reporter Anderson Cooper? Cornelius Vanderbilt, George Gould, or Edward Harriman? Cornelius Vanderbilt. Which rebellion is featured in the Charlton Heston film 55 Days at Peking? Boxer Rebellion, Romanian Peasant Revolt, or Gwangju Uprising? Boxer Rebellion. What is the highest peak in Greece? Mount Ida, Mount Giona, or Mount Olympus? Mount Olympus. What was the hometown of Elvis Presley? Nashville, Tennessee, Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Tupelo, Mississippi? Tupelo, Mississippi. Question 70. Which flower's name is derived from the Latin word for sword? Gladiola, geranium, or gardenia? Gladiola. Which two animals are featured in Eugene Field's poem, The Duel? Quick Fox and Lazy Dog, Gray Cat and Sly Fox, or Gingham Dog and Calico Cat? Gingham Dog and Calico Cat. Who was the most recent British monarch who did not succeed their parent or sibling? Queen Victoria, King George IV, or Queen Elizabeth II? Queen Victoria. Who was the first Black person to win the Academy Award for Best Actor? Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, or Ossie Davis? Sidney Poitier. Which newspaper was accused of committing libel against Alabama City Commissioner L.B. Sullivan in the early 1960s? The Atlanta Journal, the New York Times, or the Washington Post? The New York Times. Which Jim Carrey movie features the line, "Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night"? Liar, Liar, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, or The Truman Show? The Truman Show. What is the term for a mixture of diced carrots, onions, and celery, and is often used to flavor broth? Ruth, roux, sofrito, or mirepoix? Mirepoix. What is the capital of Botswana? Kampala, Monrovia, or Gaborone? Gaborone. What is the main ingredient in meringue? Flour, egg whites, or milk? Egg whites. Which country had Vincent Fox as its president from 2000 to 2006? Chile, Brazil, or Mexico? So that should be Vicente Fox. Mexico. Which tournament's top prize was once called the Jules Rimet Trophy? The FIFA World Cup, the NHL playoffs, or the Copa America? FIFA World Cup. What geographical epithet was given to the H1N1 virus that caused the 1918 flu epidemic? The Spanish flu, German germ, or English cold? The Spanish flu. Which American city hosts the PGA Masters tournament every year? Augusta, Maine, Augusta, Georgia, or Augusta, New Jersey? Augusta, Georgia. Which South American country has a capital city named after King George III? Guyana, Suriname, or Paraguay? Guyana. What is the English translation of the French word bonsoir? Good evening, good afternoon, or good night? Good evening. What name have San Francisco residents given to the city's ever-present fog? Joe, Phineas, or Carl? Carl. What ingredient creates the distinction between angel's food and devil's food cake? Marzipan, cocoa powder, or heavy cream? Cocoa powder. What governing body was affected by the Lisbon Treaty of 2009? The United Nations, NATO, or the European Union? The European Union. Which insect is known for spreading the dengue fever in Latin America? The wasp, the fire ant, or the mosquito? That's the dengue fever. The mosquito. Which French nobleman inspired a term for people who enjoy inflicting pain on others? Marquis de Favras, Marquis de Sade, or Marquis de Lafayette? Marquis de Sade. Which author wrote Cannery Row and Sweet Thursday, two novels that feature the working class citizens of Monterey, California? Kurt Vonnegut, John Steinbeck, or Mark Twain? John Steinbeck. What internet giant was featured in the 2012 book The Everything Store? Amazon, eBay, or Google? Amazon. Which conflict started after the USS Maine sank in Havana Harbor in 1898? The Mexican-American War, the Cuban Revolution, or the Spanish-American War? The Spanish-American War. Which man was part of the royal family of Tembu, of the Tembu people, and became a president in 1994? K.R. Narayanan, Nelson Mandela, or Daniel Arap Moi? Nelson Mandela. Which rock band took their name from a type of motor truck manufactured before World War II? The 38 Special, Blink 182, or REO Speedwagon? REO Speedwagon. What city was dubbed the key to the New World and rampart of the West Indies in the 1634 Spanish decree? Havana, Bogota, or St. Augustine? Havana. Which of the following actors does not appear in the 1996 film 12 Monkeys? Brad Pitt, Bruce Willis, or Matt Damon? Matt Damon. What was the first country to send a woman to space? The USA, the UAE, or the USSR? The USSR. What is a common lay term for the sternum? Kneecap, breastbone, or funny bone? The breastbone. What was Germany's code name for its planned invasion of the United Kingdom during World War II? Operation Sea Lion, Operation Crown Jewel, or Operation Morning Tea? Operation Sea Lion. Question 100. What is the third book in the Dune series by Frank Herbert? Dune Messiah, Children of Dune, or Heretics of Dune? Children of Dune. And for our bonus question, what is the study of moths and butterflies called? Let us know the answer in the comments. We thank you for playing this quiz, and we will see you in our next one. Bye-bye.